Welcome back to the Post University Summer Valorant Invitational 2025, live from the Drumner Center on the campus of Post University in Middlebury, Connecticut. We're excited to have everybody in here and excited to have this last matchup of this round robin stage here. We've got Post University facing off with Affinity Esports. The final matchup of the round robin leads into seeding here. So both of these teams currently sitting at 0-2. If you want to watch the UConn battle it out with the Sacred Heart University squad, you can certainly do so at Post U Esports 2. So open up a tab and see who lands that #1 seed. Right now it's trending towards UConn, the way that they've been absolutely deadly through their first couple of rounds. So they're certainly the favorites coming in. They're not only the #1 seed in the bracket, but also for the title itself. But can one of these teams surprise? One of them is going to get their first win of the day. It's just a matter of who. Starting on the defensive side will be Post University. And facing off with them, who we haven't seen on the main channel yet, but will get their first appearance here, will be Affinity Esports as they start to lock in now at the map, which is chosen to be Ascent. Right now, I was wondering whether or not we're going to see the same composition like we saw from Post University the first time that they played Ascent, which was earlier today. And right now we see Bray actually locking in the Cypher, which is different. Slammed actually was on the Cypher earlier here today, so that's a change up. Instead, Slam will be playing the Sova, which Mojo is on. So full switch around here. Mojo said, I want to play Smokes, maybe find a little bit more value in that aspect of it. So the full three-person swap, if you will, as Mojo is on the Omen, which we saw from Bray last time around. And Bray couldn't quite get things going in that first round, so perhaps maybe that was the idea for the change. Bray certainly popped off last time, though, when we talk about what we saw from Bind in round 2 of the round robin. So we'll see if they can't make the appropriate adjustments accordingly in order to get the job done and get their first victory. But it'll be a battle against Affinity Esports. Locking in Brimstone here on Ascent is viable for sure. You get your smokes from that side of the equation. You got the Neon as your solo duelist here, with bringing in a couple of initiators on the Fade and Breach side of things. Dissidence has been on Breach since the get-go as well, so you'll see a Breach for Breach here. And you'll see a Breach of First Blood. It's Mojo to jump in there, but 4951 follows it up, taking out Dissident, another big member of this squad, especially in the pistol round, where you want to be able to rely on your accuracy, on your ability to create and generate space. And the attack has done just that here, controlling the mid, which has always been a point of emphasis for Ascent, but even more so here in this battle between the two. Slammed does locate one. No help for Pranny at all. They were just going to sneak through without him. Thought that he could win the 1v1 gunfight battle. He was wrong. And Post University was able to walk away with that kill, Slammed, courtesy of. But the mid has been secured. Void is able to pick off one on this side. So they're thinking about this siding on this A site. Maybe catch one off situation, but Bray was strong, good for it. Sunny was able to catch them through and get a couple back-to-back. Post University on the board first with a 1-0 lead here after winning the pistol on the defensive side, and that's been very elusive for them, looking to win the pistol round in any scenario. First half, second half, doesn't matter. So it's very big for them to be able to secure that one and get some momentum going early. Certainly been the issue for them recently. They probably talked about a lot in between these matches. So to see them find that success, certainly refreshing from the Post University perspective. And for Affinity Esports, last match was one to forget against UConn, but they were very close to being able to beat, in fact, closer than Post University was, to beating SHU. So this team, certainly not a sleeper. And obviously, it's way too early to determine whether or not this is going to be a close battle or if it's going to be a runaway situation for either team. We'll look at everybody lined up here on the A side. Want to find value with the pistols, but Mojo is mowing him down again. Gets the three-piece before they'll fall. Now Dissident able to get one, make it two. Will clear out Hell. And it is hell to pay if you're Affinity Esports there because of the weaponry difference. So a bit of an easier one for Post University. And it's the Mojo Dissident combination that's been very deadly for the Eagles. It strikes again. And now it'll be the bonus time for Affinity Esports to try to get back on the board here. So that one was perhaps maybe to be expected. They're in the round loss column, so no biggie there from their perspective. They're looking to just bounce back here with the bonus, with the weaponry advantage that we'll see. Going full Vandals, except for the one Phantom, which is equal value from Subhuman. Just based on preference alone. One in this side. Slam trying to hold down the mid, but they'll be smoked out for sure. Mojo is tucked into the corner here before Tree. Maybe trying to catch them by surprise. They do. But now they're going to be called out here. Pranny wants to get closer to this corner. That's going to be a difficult one to manage, though. Meanwhile, the Neon on this side, Void was doing some work. Now Slam will have their handfuls here at mid. Gets the first one, looking to secure the next one on Flow. That battle's ensuing. Meanwhile, on the far side, Dissident able to win that battle as well. Post University with the advantage here. On Affinity's bonus here. Wall bang there from Flow. Great intuition. That's just knowing the map extremely well. I don't think they got any value from anywhere else. I don't think intel was theirs to have. They just happened to know. Maybe they got a peek earlier, but either way, a very smart play. And allows them to at least have a chance here in this round for sure. You've got Dissident, who's incredibly low from the battles earlier in this round on the A site, who's now rotated around the B, assuming they were going to go this way.
30 seconds
so they didn't hear a whole lot. Bray's got 100 in the tank as far as HP goes, but look, as you've got also a little bit of extra bonus here in the shield department, if you will, from Flow. Bray will have the same coming in. As long as Flow can maybe create one-on-one chances, that's how they're going to be able to win this round. But if they try to attack this both ways, if they attack together on the Post University side, they should have success rate pretty dang high. Flow was taking a peek there at A main. Nothing doing here. No sound cues given away at all from Post University. Now it will. The alarm bot from underneath was very important to being able to give themselves an opportunity. Quick swing around and Distant is good for it. Good for their third of the round. Flow will fall, and so will the chances of winning the bonus here for Affinity Esports. With 6 seconds to spare, Post is able to defuse the spike, and we'll have a 3-round advantage here early. And now you got to consider, number one, you're on LAN, which is different than online, and sure, a little bit of a more intimate, smaller situation as far as LAN goes, but I don't think that really takes away from the fact that there could be some extra pressure there. Not to mention trying to battle the mental of being pretty dismembered from UConn. I was trying to find a good way to say that, but I mean, Post University experienced the same thing. Everybody has. UConn's been so special. And you got to wonder if that's still kind of a hangover from that last match, you know? Ray had great patience, great trigger discipline, but unfortunately couldn't land the first of a couple of battles there, so the spike should be planted here because of it, but all things considered, in those battles, we're at even grounds at 3 members apiece. The door's been shut on Sunny, so they'll have to wait and join the rest of the cavalry. I think they're going to go to defender spawn side in order to get in. And Flo hears this. Mojo able to jump across, able to TP right below. Flo is tucked in right behind them as well. From Boathouse, was able to locate them, try to get the alarm bot off because of it. Now the swing around, Dissident good for 1, but Void, right there, the Sheriff able to take care of business. And Affinity Esports took that personally. You know, they lost their bonus round and came out, could have hung their heads. I was talking about, hey, how's their mental? Well, how about that? A thrifty round exactly when you need it. Whenever the bonus did not go your way, and that should almost guarantee the Post University takes the next one. And Affinity said, we're not going to let that bother us at all. Going to jump back, get that victory in that round, take wins as they come, and try to march your way back into this one. I say back into it. It's the 3-1 advantage. I get it. But, that, I mean, that was a huge round. Very pivotal. Could certainly see rounds add up, right? Flo's got the lockdown in hand. It's just a matter of when they want to use it. That will chase Sunny and Bray outside of the area. Bray said, I don't care. I'm still going to get a pick here in the meantime. They jumped the gun a little bit too early on the lockdown. And because of that, Bray was able to not only get the kill, but also be able to secure themselves away from the lockdown before it actually took place. So Bray hanging in there for every second they could. And Affinity just jumping the gun a little bit was the difference between this being an even battle and one where Post University has the numbers. Rolling Thunder out. That's going to get them onto site. Boathouse is being pushed out. And everybody falls for Affinity Esports, one after another. Dissident getting the last one here. And Post University will be able to defuse this one with ease. So after a dig deep effort there from Affinity Esports in the last round, unfortunately, it didn't translate into momentum here. Spent instead. That'll be Post University able to bounce back here in the 4-1. Will be the biggest lead that they've had this far in the Summer Valorant Invitational, as they led quite briefly in the last one against SHU. Kind of, well, I say that. They went back and forth between the two. And UConn, I'm not sure that they ever got a lead, established a lead. In fact, there's no way that they did. It was a 7-1 advantage right off the rip. Hunter's Fury out. Trying to get the avoidance. Slam is able to locate them, and Mojo will do the rest. With a couple of kills. And I think they tried to throw out the Nightfall as well, but they fell instead. On the other side of the coin. Subhuman was able to win that exchange on the gun fight. Other side, Mojo, and the rest. Void. Life is determined on whether this dark cover is going to fall, and they're not looking the right way. Mojo certainly has a feel for this game, has a feel for where it's going to be. But a great job to tuck behind that wall as that dark cover is coming out. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be pressured at the end of the day. And the Spike is in full possession here of Post University, as they have the corner basically locked down here at this point. They know the Neon's there. And their only chance here is to have Subhuman come around, but they have to use some of the util. They'll have a lot of it still in hand, actually. They'll have all of it. Minus the Rolling Thunder. I'd like to see them kind of team up and then be able to utilize that right on it, but they just have no idea where all 4 members are. So Void and Subhuman. Nothing to save for, but maybe they try to be too fine-tuned in their challenging in, right? I think the goal here at this point is to maybe steal a couple rifles out of their hands, because they're certainly not winning this round. The round will tick down, and it will be Post University moving up to 5-1 in rounds played. And they won't challenge this either. Try to get a pick. That would have been best case scenario for Infinity in that 2v4 situation with less weaponry than we saw on the Post University side. So just wanted to catch them by surprise maybe and be able to dig into the eco. But instead, you're looking at it. A full buy once more. Again, a Guardian in hand for Sunny B is the only difference between them and buying, and all the way down for Vandals. and a bit of a force buy here on the opposite side. So Affinity wants to be able to kind of, they want a round here and now, so they're going to invest a lot in order to get that done. So a big round coming up for them. If they lose this one, it will be a dominant first half for Post University. At least it certainly feels that way. Something's able to get back on site. Slammed up top, not able to find it, but look, as Dissident was all up on it. But Mojo was missing. Good swing around from Subhuman, though. Will pick up one and did a great job to be disciplined enough to not swing on Market, where Bray was waiting for him on the opposite end. Perfectly done here so far by Affinity, but right when I say that, Dissident is able to get one. Bray back to back. Now a 1v1 situation.
Where is everyone hiding?
And Bray just wants to be able to use it. Now it's, sorry, a 1v2 situation, as Dissident will have the ability to be able to create space in main, but you don't want to leave it. So they'll be kind of back by tree. If they don't come this way, then they know for a fact that it has to come from A main. Oh, but they're thinking it might be
30
B.
seconds left.
But Bray didn't give them anything to really imagine that it would be. Pranny is going to have to go through the front door. Did a great job to just go ahead and commit to it. It's going to be able to shut this door too. That won't matter much. The attack will be coming from heaven, and that is going to be some unleashing of breach utility and an easy lineup. And a quick defusal from Post University as a drop down from Dissonance better. A 3-piece in this one to be able to get the defusal, as well. A 6-1 lead plus a devastated eco on the other side for Affinity Esports. And the thing is, there's just one or two different decisions or moments that could have gone differently that really would have opened up the entire playing field here for them. But this will certainly be a save round for Affinity, as you see them struggling a little bit. Although, all things considered, I mean, 49-51 in Subhuman with some eco in hand, but that'd be just another force that would truly be do or die there if they're not able to secure that round. So, Affinity Esports certainly need to dig deep. It's certainly not over, though. We all know this. First of all, Defender-sided map. Holy cow, it's been a long day already. And they've got the 6-1 advantage, though, and that's what I'm getting at. Attack side's not easy. Plus, they've got 4 out of their 5 ultimates coming up. First is Post University, who used Rolling Thunder a couple of rounds ago, I believe. They'll have that back in a couple of kills, it looks like, or a couple orbs, depending on which direction they want to go. But yeah, there's lots of utility in hand for sure. Ultimate-wise, Rolling Thunder is good. The Neon Ultimate, always a pain to try to go up against.
Where are they, Cypher?
They'll have Nightfall and Orbital Strike, so they have lots of space-taking ability in addition to everything else. So space won't be their issue. And Void, right off the back of the pop the ult, gonna be able to get one in, get market control. Diving through to try to get more. Void is gonna meet up with the friends and be able to take out Dissident along with Bray. Pranny was a big part of that one too. Void with a perfect job on Mojo as well. Pranny on the other side. The timeout is certainly coming in handy. Affinity Esports called it. They had a mission at hand, and not only was it a flawless round, but they didn't even lose that many ultimates in the process. So just about as good as you could play that one after the timeout coming out. You want to be able to be impactful pretty quickly. We saw UConn couldn't necessarily do that against Post University, who came back out and was able to get around one. That being said, the rest of the map is a little bit less than what they wanted.
Go, go, go! I'm out of here.
Already through mid, though. After the overdrive really started off that huge run for Affinity Esports in the last round to make it flawless. Slammed is going to be attacked here. Swings was good for one. Sunny was able to get another one, too. They're trying to spam through. But Mojo and Sunny combined to try to keep them at an arm's distance, especially. when we talk about mid, but Flow is better for it. Also able to take out some util. Shock dart to the corner, chases them out of it, and a great job to finish it.
Spike down mid.
It's not just about utilizing that util, you gotta be able to play off of it as well. Well done. Seems pretty straightforward until you're in these moments where it could be a turnaround effort from Affinity, and you need to be able to focus, and that was a great job to just be textbook with it. Flow, here's footsteps.
30 seconds left.
I think they see the weapon, they do. Mojo's out of it. Flow's able to take them out. They know that they're behind this corner as well, but Slammed is going to win it anyways. The 1v1 battle there. The gunfight there to try to get top of mid towards defender spawn was owned by Slammed. Making sure Mojo didn't die in vain, although he was parked up there. A very unusual death there from Mojo. But that's what Affinity Esports is trying to accomplish here, especially on the attack side. They've done a great job of controlling mid. And usually you'd ask anybody else, and they would say that that's the key to success here in Ascent, and typically it is. But right now, somehow, regardless of the positioning that surprises Post University sometimes, they still have somehow been able to come out with these rounds won. Been helping them. Definitely a difference between the matches we saw a little bit earlier. 49-51. Wants to press here into A main. Nightfall out. We'll see if they follow it up. Mojo is going to be hit by it. Tried to avoid it. Nothing doing. Now Mojo going to be absolutely overwhelmed. 49-51 also going to turn the corner, but that one bested by Dissident. Gets another one. Still blinded, though. Needs to get out the back door and does. Incendiary up top. Will hold off Slammed for now. Give them a little bit of extra time. Be able to pick up the spike and work its way back towards Generator. Where that's where they will start this. The pressure from Tree. Dissident want to be able to get back to it. They're just distracting for the top end. Bray gets one. Flow back on it, though. 1v1 situation. Flow gets it done. Well played to keep Affinity Esports within striking distance now. After 10 rounds, they'll be back within 4. Huge. From your Sentinel. Getting the job done in that moment is huge. That's so clutch. Big moment. Knowing that you have to be able to get that spike down, they did a great job to chase Dissident out because he was a nuisance, a threat to Affinity Esports' run there in that round, and yet they were able to chase them out the back door. They were able to buy themselves time. The Nightfall was what kicked it off. That took Mojo off the map, and then you were able to kind of focus on what you're going to do from there on out. And although it was a valiant effort to try to get back onto it and get the retake, Post University just not able to do it. Now look, as they're already on site, and Void was able to get that first kill too, and Mojo doesn't like what they see. They're going to tuck back out with Dissident. They know Affinity Esports has gotten the kill, but it's 1-for-1 anyways. Door down, destroyed. Pranny out before they were able to read it. Boy, still tucked in behind the box. Thinking about getting it, but Dissident able to accomplish it from a distance. Clear out. Sonny's able to at least get slammed on it, but another 3-piece, another 4-piece. Flow is popping off right now. Affinity Esports is riding them on the back. It's Flow that has been the difference maker here for AE. Holy. An individual effort of a lifetime. Had a little bit of help from distraction from Pranny that was still alive in that moment. 49-51 as well was there to be considered. But despite the advantage, the clear advantage, that's what planting the spike will do for you. It just gives the defense one more thing to think about. And then when you have somebody just in their flow state, like Flow is, it's very difficult to manage. Look at Subhuman already on to site. With a purpose, this team is activating themselves here.
Spike planted.
And when you thought it was going to be a runaway situation here for Post University in the first half, suddenly things have changed. And it might be just a 2-round differential if they can hold off this retake. But Post has looked good on the retake, all things considered. Even Dissident with the Sheriff out weaponized, did not care Able to get one back. Do they have a rifle, though? I don't think they have it in hands. They're going to try to take that fight close, but Void's better with it.
Last player
Now,
standing.
Dissident does get that kill before he falls. Mojo is who you want on there for that. But you got to look out for Flow. Has truly hit flow state.
Sides.
And the first half, after a 6-1 advantage, I believe it was, from Post University. Correct me if I'm wrong there in chat, but either way, it's been a lot of rounds in a row from Affinity Esports, and best case scenario happens, where now they're able to transition to the defensive side of Ascent with just two rounds trailing. So, excellent work from this team. Can't count them out. And what value to have a KJ that you can rely on to pop off the way that they have has been, man, teams absolutely beg for that kind of situation, right? Well, Post University was able to win their first pistol round of the Summer Valorant Invitational presented by Post University. Big shout out to Goops being able to put this all together, the tournament organizer here today. And Subhuman did not like that look of paranoia that came through from Mojo, who tries to tuck down behind corner before Void's able to put him on their back. Flow is sneaking behind here on the flank position. Subhuman gets the first pick anyways. And Dissident
Spike down.
slammed, timed that very well. But now Flow
Remaining.
was able to at least get
Last
one on the
player
flank,
standing.
but that's about it. But now Bray, after Prenny was able to take one out, they're low too, 10 HP, got to be able to tuck them behind, they do. Spike and they try to locate them. I think they saw him behind box. They peeled off really early though. I'm not sure they know what to do. Spy cam now is deactivated anyways. Wasn't being utilized. Prenny's going to be able to get a better position on this gunfight here.
30 seconds left.
Both players with Ghost in hand. It'll be a classic duel-off. Oh, Bray just got away with his life. Prenny turned just as they were sneaking behind it. And now Bray's able to plant because of it. Prenny lost track of this spike, and that gives Bray a keen advantage, but they know where they are. Sound cues. Now it's going to try to get them as they were rolling their way out, but Bray chooses correctly. Unfortunate there for Affinity Esports, as Prenny was focused on the wall bang through the green box, but did not consider that Bray was going to pop off the other side, left, and was able to cash in a big 1v1 effort there from Bray. And you feel bad there. Like, Prenny needed to be able to keep track of that spike.
They have nowhere to hide.
I'm not sure there's much of an excuse to be able to let that go, especially when it was right there in doorway. Bray, I mean, credit them for being able to sneak it, grab it, and somehow be able to get to that behind that box to plant in the first place and have them looking in two different directions versus just the one direction that you're forced into. So, again, great play. A full march down Broad straight. You're on the A site. A main. Gonna be smoked off. Prenny said, I don't like this. I hear way too much, and they were right here on the flank. Comes up Human, but a great timing here from Post University to push in and get the first couple picks. Dissident, Mojo, Bray, if they were not decisive, they would not have gotten away with it, but they are on it as Flow gets a couple with the classic, but all the rest come through, and every member of Post University gets a kill in this round for the team ace, and will march their way up to 9-5 in rounds here in this match. That flank was coming quickly, and if they did not make that decision to move on to site, the IGL of this team, Post University, made a great decision to just go ahead and go. The more that you linger there, the more you're going to catch that flank and damage. Instead, you were decisive, you got into site, you got the first couple of kills, and you can take it from there.
Gun here. Trevor, out of charges.
But Subhuman's going to draw first blood here. Well done in mid to hold your ground. Play a little bit of aggressive play, but you want to be able to do that. And I don't think Bray knows that Void is back here in wine. But they have an idea Crosshair there, but once they let their guard down, Subhuman the turn, and that's when they come through and strike through. Void and Subhuman. Back-to-back picks, slammed in a very compromised position. Not sure if they saw them turn on it and get behind Cubby. Whether they saw him or not, they were able to take them out. Void with a big play to get aggressive, get into wine, and then be able to cause a little bit of chaos there was Subhuman. Because remember, they got the first couple picks in this round, and I think that caught the attention of Post University, thinking we have to be able to go and manage this situation. And because of that, you're so focused on being able to win that battle and take them off the map that you had no idea what else there was to come. Well, 49-51, able to get the last kill. A flawless round here for Affinity Esports. Just what the doctor ordered as they pulled themselves back within 3 rounds. And then they should have themselves at even ground eco-wise for the most part. Actually, Post is going to have a disadvantage here. It looks like they're going to force buy in this situation. I don't know if you can call it a force. It's certainly not comfortable. And Flow, I'm going to keep an eye on here because Flow has pop-up potential. They also have an outlaw that they're looking to work with as well. But they won't have anything to shoot at. Dissident and Mojo are actually going to check mid instead. Both sides of mid are occupied. Mojo going to get the first pick, though. Subhuman tried to be able to out-battle Mojo, and it's been working a lot on this map, more than we're used to against Mojo. But Mojo pulled through in that moment, which we're very used to seeing here. Flo still trying to hold it down. Post University might have occupied mid, but they got to have a big decision to make here on which side they want to run to. All the KJ, they know that that util has been placed there basically the entirety of it, so they're going to be called out if they try to go that way. But once again, quick decision making. It will cost Dissident their life. But now the flank is not a thing. Instead, you see, instead of attacking mid here, where Post University is going to be looking that way, brilliant job to call around, and Affinity Esports already gets a pick here as Sunny let their guard down trying to walk through market. A great decision to, instead of attack mid, go through the back end of Defender's spawn and challenge them there as well. But now Void has tucked in and tried to get through a tree to cause even more damage, but slammed, able to pick one up before I could even get the camera over there. 16 seconds. They need to be able to plant, but they don't know Void is there. Now they do. But there's 12 seconds left. They pick up the spike. A good slide. Can they get it? Void, the 3-piece. You could argue that Bray should have been able to win that battle and then cause a 1v1 situation. They would have had to go up against Flo anyways in a 1v1 after that exchange was done. So a bit of inaccuracy there from Post University will make them pay. And it will be a 9-7 battle as Affinity Esports keeps lingering. They keep themselves around for sure. And Affinity Esports want to give you a shout out as well. Thank you so much for coming through to the channel and hanging out with us. We love to see you support your teams, and this has been a very fun match to watch, no doubt about it. And wondering if that same thing applies. Go ahead and pop open the tab and let's find out. Go to twitch.tv/postuesports2. So just add a 2 to this one, open up another tab, go over there, and we'll check on the UConn Gaming Club facing off with Sacred Heart University as we speak. Of course, they're the 2 and 0 teams versus the 0 and 2 teams that we have here with Post University and Affinity Esports. So we have a bit of a dark horse winning situation here, potentially. Whoever walks away with this one should have probably the number 3 seed. I'm pretty sure it's locked in. That would be the case, right? Yeah, we won't have any tiebreakers because of the 2-0, 2-0, 0-2, 0-2. So, yeah, appreciate the support, number 1 and number 2. We'll see who gets that first seed, all important. This is almost as important. It is that important because whoever wins this will get 3rd seed, meaning they don't have to go up against whoever wins that 2 and 0 battle. But Affinity Esports have won the last couple of rounds. They want to be able to continue that going. Flo is camped, basically. See if they chase him out. Flo didn't move. I think they're going to think that they went ahead and cleared this corner. But I'm not sure it's the case. The Lear is able to take a 1, but Flo is so patient. and now is just sitting themselves onto this spike like an egg, but the good spam through from Slam, the Slam spam. Flew down to 20%, and it's all because they thought they cleared that corner with the shock dart early from Mojo, or not Mojo. My apologies. I'm slammed, but unfortunately it did not clear the corner they thought it did. Only took about 22 HP out of the hands, and you're more than willing, as Flo, to just hang out there instead. They've got this spike marked from multiple angles. Bray's got nowhere to go either, as 49-51 just waiting for it. Chomping at the bit for Bray to turn. It was a wide swing, so actually had a little bit of an advantage there. It's not going to fall instantly. In fact, will win that battle with it. Slam wins another battle, too. To hold that thought, able to create the one-on-one chances, but it will be ended in its tracks as Affinity Esports do walk away with this one. A very, very strong try there from Post University, but it was not to be against Affinity Esports, who now have battled their way back to just one round differential. As this one almost feels like it's gearing up for overtime. I know it's super early. And the ball is really in Post University's court here. Like, if we find ourselves in a situation where we're going to overtime, I almost feel like it's Post University who's going to have to dig out in order to make it happen, the way Affinity's been stringing these rounds together. I know Post has the advantage now in rounds, but that might soon change, especially the way this team's been playing. Rolling Thunder comes out just as 49-51 thought they were going to be able to get some value off of the Haunt and find some intel, but they gave it away anyways with that Rolling Thunder, but they didn't get enough value either on the Post University side, and for that reason, they're going to go ahead and cycle all the way back around to B, it seems. But they got to look out for 49-51. They hear the rotation coming, so now comms should follow suit. That's why you're seeing Pranny right now hold until they can get the smoke off. Likely looking to support right there. Sure enough, there it goes, comes down. Oh, you know where they've been, and Void was there. 49-51 also gets an extra kill on the way out the door. Post University a little bit too loud on the rotation, and that just allowed the opportunity for Affinity Esports to drop Sky Smoke, and then they felt like they were in between a rock and a hard place. Could not quite make the decision to get back on the site. It was already held out. But look, Dissident on the flank. He's able to get one. Now his position has been compromised, though, or has been touted out, but it doesn't matter. Pranny's going to fall as well. Post University, they need to plant this quickly. They don't know. Subhuman is here with a couple of kills, but he doesn't get the last one off. Can they get the spike planted? No, not able to do so. Affinity Esports win this round. Will go to 9-9, even ground. As an epic job from Subhuman to be tucked into that corner low left. Not in Boathouse like was expected. And when they dropped down, even though they weren't able to secure that final kill, it didn't matter because you bought yourself enough time to win that round. And not only that, but Post University had 4 ultimates the last round coming in. Sorry, 5. They used Rolling Thunder on the A site. That didn't work. And then they didn't use any other ultimates because they thought they had maybe that one in the bag. I don't know. But they gotta be able to use some of this value. Subhuman's gonna get this one off to you. Affinity Esports feeling themselves right now. You love to see the confidence. Subhuman and the rest through market. Slammed is gonna spam through and get a kill. Wow. Impressive work. Battles in mid. Levy's with a leer. Opens it up, but it didn't affect him. Now the spike is in open ground in mid. Not what you want, but Cyber Cage. Luckily, Bray was able to hold on to one of those. Wow, spike in hand. Plus, they have Slammed that's also holding down Defender Spawn. If Pranny comes back here, I'm not sure they know where they're at. Oh, but Void.
I know exactly where you are.
Not only does that buy you time because you had the better sight line and they weren't ready for it, but that also allowed your teammate to live as well. So now you have Pranny by your side. Void was able to just save 2 lives essentially by being able to run that and locate where they're gonna be, but they didn't look out for Slammed through main, 4K, and just when you need it, Post University gets back on top. Oh baby.
But sometimes old ways are best.
We have ourselves an old-fashioned stew here in the New England area today. As a 2-0 and 2 teams know that life almost depends on being able to win this one. The way UConn's been playing, they're now up to 3-0 already with a round differential of 30 through 3 rounds. So they know that whoever loses this is going to have to go up against UConn, a very hot UConn right now, versus being able to go up against an SHU team who were just bested by that UConn team, and they were within reaching distance, it felt like, from a standpoint from both of these teams. Much closer matches versus UConn than versus UConn, that is. So they know for a fact that they don't want him right now. Maybe they can get him later on. Maybe fatigue starts to hit UConn. Probably not, but that's what you're hoping, banking on, I guess. We'll have to see. Dissident is the Lone Ranger here on the A main side, trying to maybe catch eyeballs to allow the rest of the team. And Mojo's the one to lead the charge to get the first kill. Dissident was maybe trying to get them to think that way. Full rotation on the other side. Void is able to take out Dissident. And now uses the fast lane to get out of dodge.
30 seconds left.
They didn't see Subhuman, but Mojo was able to get this kill. But now look at the battle that's about to ensue here if they want to challenge it. Franny on the backside. You saw Mojo go ahead and TP over. Past it. 1v1 battle. Won by Mojo. Lockdown, killed, destroyed. Now they can just jump on the site instead. And Mojo's got some help here in Bray as well. Both of them have 100 HP. Neon's a little bit low. Void's got just over, nope, just 70 HP in the name. And Mojo. Very aggressive positioning. Catches Void on the other side. The 4-piece in Bray will do the rest. They wanted to turn around and challenge Mojo, thinking it would have been an ace situation, but instead Bray was waiting for him on the opposite side to get the rest. And Post University battled back with a couple of big rounds won, and a timeout coming here from Void is going to lead the charge here from Affinity Esports to discuss this just a little bit further. 25, 13, and 15 is Dissident, who's been very quietly an extreme value in this one. That is absolutely outrageous. Pop off, Dissident. You love to see it. I mean, that is just pure consistency at its finest, right? You've got a situation where through 20 rounds, you've got 25. That's like 1.2 kills per round. And it's not like he's been having a chance for an ace every round. It's literally just been 2 here, 3 here. But those add up. And Slam's had some big moments, too, at the 19, 15, and 3 mark. It almost felt like if Mojo was not to have a good round, or if Mojo's not to have a good match, then it feels like a lost cause for Post University sometime. Dissident and Slam said absolutely not. Bray said the same. 14, 10, and 5. Remember, Bray was literally 1-16 on Ascent the last time around. Just a simple change was the difference between them not finding success and then being able to find success here in this moment. On this map, Ascent, where they struggled last time. Look at the aggressive positioning again. Dissident almost reading it here, but Subhuman in a great spot. They have to be this way. They're going to be out-weaponized. Dissident gets a couple again. Make it 27 kills, just 3 away from a 30 bomb. It almost feels inevitable now, doesn't it? The way he's been playing. Void's got the Sheriff absolutely surrounded. Great pickup first, but that's all you're going to be able to do and manage. Dissident, another one. Slammed, going to take out Flo. It's left to just Pranny and a prayer, and Slammed will get the last one here. Match point for Post University. with 3 ultimates in hand as well. You've got Rolling Thunder back to get you onto site. You've got Hunter's Fury to maybe map him out from there. And then if you really need it, the round doesn't go extremely well. If you can keep Mojo alive, which he usually does great by himself anyways. Sure, it hasn't been his best match by any means. Even he would probably argue that way and tell you that that's true. And even still, like, if Mojo's able to stay alive, you have yourself an opportunity to grab the spike, TP to the other side, worst case scenario. So you have a contingency plan in addition to everything else. So it's a great spot to be. But the overdrive on the other side, we've seen that pop off, and Void has been doing very good in the past couple of rounds. But Slammed draws first blood. Bray was trying to get there on the flank. But Bray's still calming to his team, knowing that mid is relatively free. But that being said, 49-51 has the opportunity to maybe backtrack and get to it. But Bray able to get that exchange one. Void does pick up one on the way in, though. Affinity's staying alive, and they're killing time, more importantly. But can they win this exchange? They can. Flow with the Outlaw. You need to switch it out. You do. But now, the Rolling Thunder going to knock them off their feet. Quite literally, distance from the backside. Able to swing around. 29 kills now, and the opportunity to be able to plant this one. And you have mid control. Sunny and Slammed in support. They got to play this well. Void's not going to use the overdrive. You have to in this situation, but 49-51, able to get the first kill, trying to fight through it. Won't be enough. Post University Eagles are able to win 13-9. And they'll have third seed walking into the final bracket. GG's all around. Affinity Esports was able to make this one close and keep it close. But it was Post University that's able to gain access and play that SHU team, get a rematch there, which was pretty close, all things considered. And unfortunately for Affinity Esports, they're going to have to go up against UConn, that deadly 3-0 team with a plus 30 round differential. Flow and Void, unbelievable throughout the entirety of this map. Not quite enough. I would argue subhuman, despite the 11-18-5 that you're looking at there. Drew 4 first bloods. I wasn't even going to say that, but that's part of the equation there. Was really good when it came to situational play as well. Find themselves in a great positioning to force the hand of Post University in a lot of these rounds. So all things considered, a very, very hot battle. But the matches are determined. It'll be UConn facing off with Affinity Esports and Post University going up against SHU for the semifinals of the bracket. But we will pause for lunch, so we'll see and wait for the bracket to be determined, number 1, which it is, but then also be able to grab some grub in the meantime. Make sure you get some good food in, and we'll make sure to join us for the final bracket where we become best of 3s from here on out. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Post University Summer Valorant Invitational on the Post University Network.